What's up, everybody? Welcome back to SalesRemastered. Do I got a treat for you? In this video, I actually sit down in an interview with Danny Iskander. He's one of the founders of West Capital Lending. The other co-founder, his name is Eric Hines. These two gentlemen have built something very special. It's called West Capital Lending. And the reason why I say it's very special is because both of these gentlemen come from the call center retail background, and they have the foresight and the intelligence to actually take that retail call center mentality and work ethic and model and implement it and fuse it into the independent wholesale model. And here's what's different is most wholesale models, literally when you get hired, they're just like, there's no orientation, there's no training, there's no support, there's no insight. You can't necessarily talk to one of the top producers and be like, hey, what are you doing? Whereas West Capital Lending has really put together a model that gives you the support, it gives you the tricks, it gives you the know-how, it gives you the fundamentals and the name brand recognition that you grown to love in a retail call center, and they've applied it to the wholesale market. Anyway, so I sit down and I have a chance to actually talk about what it's like coming from the call center model, the retail model, and stepping into the wholesale model. And I think that, for you, if you've been thinking about going independent, but you have some hesitations, you may have some reservations, I want you to listen to this interview because you're not the only one. A lot of agents who deserve to be independent are not going independent simply because of fears, simply because of these illusions that may be standing in your way. And I've been fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to now build a team. So we talk a little bit about that, and we actually share stories of our successes in the call center model, and oftentimes the surprises that we both learn in coming into the independent model. And whenever I say independent, some of you might get a little shy. Some of you might be like, independent. Does that mean I'm on my own island? Does that mean that I need to figure out all on my own? Does that mean I need to start all over again? Does it mean that I'm not going to get the support, the leads, the training, the processing that, only I believe a retail call center or retail platform can provide? And all those answers are in this video. So make sure you check it out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share it with others that need to see it. And if you're not part of the Remastermind community, it's a free community. You could sign up, join, because there's a ton of like-minded hustlers just like you that's not on YouTube watching a kitten play with a yarn ball. We're not just using social media for entertainment, shits and giggles. We're actually using it for our advantage. Just like West Capital Lending, it's an opportunity that's there, but it's only there if you take it, if you use it. Whether it's with West Capital Lending or another platform out there, I want you to take away from this interview that your fears, your concerns, your reservations are not only from you. They're shared. They're more common than you think. So check out this interview. I hope you like it, and I'm looking forward to them thumbs up, those comments, and that feedback. Enjoy the show.
Daniel, first off, thanks for coming to the office. Yeah. Appreciate you coming in and us spending a little time. You've been with WestCap now since February, and it's kind of a different path for you, right? You've mainly ran save teams, set up, been more of a sales manager, and you decided to kind of take a little bit of a hiatus and just focus on yourself and originating again and, hanging your license here at WestCap. How has it been so far?
Man, it's been great, actually. I think that, with respect to the wholesale side, coming from, predominantly like a call center on the retail side, stepping in the wholesale atmosphere is great. And I think that, I do have some experience like back in early 2000s, which really dates me, in the wholesale world and working as a broker coming into now. So technology is obviously a huge advantage and a huge tool that loan officers can definitely use if they use it right. And one thing that I really like about West Capital Lending is just the support factor. It's not everyone's out for their own selves. Everyone's trying to win as a group and as a team. And I really like that because that's how I get down with SalesRemastered. It's a matter of everyone teaching everyone how to win as opposed to hogging it for themselves and not sharing what's actually working.
I think, just correlating my experience, like coming into the wholesale side, I didn't really have there wasn't really a whole lot of support, right? Yeah. It was like, I'm in an office, I'm trying to ask other people for help or direction or what lender do I use here or there. And, it took at least a couple months to kind of get that base kind of framework. So I think that was one of Eric and I's goals, was like coming in, like, how do we educate call center LOs that have, they know how to sell, right? They know how to overcome objections and build rapport, but they don't know what lender to use and what guidelines are out there and what technology and what platforms to use. So at least that 2-day orientation, I think, is key to at least giving them a framework, right? It's an independent model, and there's still a million different things that they're going to have to learn, but at least giving them a base framework, I think, is super important. So,
yeah, definitely. I mean, I heard this acronym about fear. It stands for false evidence appearing real. And I think that a lot of agents out there are scared, or at least hesitant, to jump into something that they're not familiar with, even though they see the success that's being experienced by all the agents here at West Capital Lending. So what I find is that, a lot of the doubts or a lot of hesitations are mainly coming from illusions. And that's primarily because even if you did come from a call center where everything was already handled for you, West Capital Lending's already had that time and the background experience to input the cogs in the wheel to offset what you may not necessarily have in the traditional broker world. From the support to the assistance to the processing hands down is phenomenal. They're very reliable. Everyone's on the same page. Even with like hesitation with regards to investing money in marketing. I mean, there's when you actually learn about it and you get into the depth of it, you'll find out that you don't really have to be worried because you have the support. So you can maybe come onto a team, and then the financial support is there for you to acquire your own leads. And really what you're trying to do is just get your foot in so that you can understand the model as quickly as possible, so that when this market does return, you're in the best possible position to maximize your return in this industry.
Let's talk about your returns, right? I mean, I think you've posted your rankings a couple times, right? You're like, I'm in the top 10, right? And, we ran the numbers last month. You hit executive branch manager. You've ranked in the top 10% in funded loans in all of West Cap. I personally think we have the best originators in all of Orange County and across the nation. So I think that's a pretty big deal, right? I mean, to get back on the phones, be working out of your house, buying your own leads, brokering to, multiple different lenders. It's a whole different way of doing business, but yet you're not just walking, just talking it. You're taking the steps and you're actually getting it done. So tell us about that journey of I know my mentality of starting to spend my own money on marketing and that mental kind of being a little scared, and then kind of that transition. Tell us about your journey, because
Definitely. So I think the root of the success from SalesRemastered is because originators out there all across the country understand that I am also an originator. So I could speak to them on a completely even level playing field, if you will, where I'm not like a manager and I'm not like a dictator and saying, hey, you should do this, you should do that, but I don't do it myself. When I led the #1 team with my previous company, the whole premise of it was we all operated just alike. And so I led the way by being the example that they should follow in order to reach the heights that they're trying to reach. And so coming here into this model, I, being an originator at heart, I love the game. This is definitely, it's my language. It's built into my DNA. And so I don't look at it as a grind. I don't look at it as like, oh, I should be fearful, because there's no reason to fear investing in yourself. I think that we invest into ourselves all the time. It's just unfortunate that a lot of loan officers out there in the industry are investing their precious time with a company that's not giving them anything in return. And when you find a place like West Capital Lending that meets you halfway, where you put in the work, you put in the investment of your effort, then they'll put in the investment of the support, the knowledge, the know-how, and also a clear map and a direction of how you can maximize your potential within an industry where most places don't provide that type of support. They don't provide that type of feedback. And so that's what made me come to West Capital Lending, is having that that golden, rare unicorn opportunity that you can't necessarily find anywhere else. And I think that goes a long way with regards to why West Capital Lending is where it's at today. It's a leader in the industry at a time where a lot of other lenders are falling out or they're pulling back. We're growing and we're accelerating. And I'm just happy to be a part of that.
Well, I'm excited that you're going to grow a team here at West Capital Lending, right? It's you've hit all the metrics. I feel like you have the knowledge, you have the insight, you have I think, just the reputation. And I think reputation says a lot that, you're actually out there buying leads, working with different lenders, working with processing, funding loans at a high level against everyone else. And now you're willing to invest, your time and your energy into showing that playbook to someone new. And I think that that's important, My journey was the same. Eric's was the same. It's like, we got to do this for ourselves. I hadn't originated in almost 8 years prior to kind of going into the broker world. And man, it's been a journey, but I'm excited for you,
Yeah, I mean, that's really where my passion is to build a team that competes with the best of them. And now having the opportunity where I can get back into kind of that leadership role, which I really miss. I had to make sure I took time so that I could vet it out myself and kind of put the tires to the road, if you will. And now that I had that opportunity to learn kind of the ups, the downs, what not to do and what to do in this broker model, I think it'd be a good opportunity to help and extend that helping hand to loan officers who are looking to either transition to another company or find the support that they are not getting where they currently are. And, like you said, I mean, I was fortunate enough to turn a $6,000 investment into over $72,000 of revenue, very quickly. And I think that's one of the main reasons why loan officers are scared to jump into a wholesale side is because they look at it as a cost. And they have to change their perception on that and look at it as an investment, because you're not spending money, you're investing it to make it grow. And if you have the know-how, or at least you have the support, the training, the guidance, and the mentoring to where you will not fall on your face, then I think that'd be a good opportunity, so long as you're ready to put in the work and you're ready to commit to that direction.
I couldn't agree more. Last thing I want to just say is I think all of our top producers, I think that there's this myth around, the amount of money that they need to spend. We have a lot of guys that example, turning $6,000 investment into $72,000 in revenue. We just had a little, kind of a breakdown with Sean Way. He's been with us for 8 months, and he started out at a very modest budget of around $3,000, and then turned $3,000 into $30,000. Turned $4,000 into $45,000, turning $5,000, $6,000, 7, into what now is anywhere between $80,000 to $100,000 a month in revenue, right? Yeah. But he's very, it takes a process, right? You have to convince yourself, hey, is this working? Not everyone, rates are at almost 8%. To go and invest $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 is not a normal process, right, for a salesperson to do. You usually rely on the company to be able to have that marketing investment. But, at the end of the day, once you prove out that you can get a return on your investment and that you're following a process that other people are following and then they're successful with it, I think that, for myself, once I started hitting those numbers of 50,000, 70,000, 100,000, and this is back in, during COVID, 200,000, 250,000, the idea of risking your own money on marketing, it's almost like it goes away. You don't even think about it, right? I have my credit card on, with a lead vendor. I'm setting my leads to 8 leads, 10 leads, 12, 15 leads a day. Some of our top producers are 20 leads a day, and they don't even think about it. They just know it just becomes the same thing. At the end of the month, their credit cards charge for whatever, 5,000, 7,000. Top producers, maybe they're spending 10,000. But as long as they're ensuring that they're getting that return, 5, 7, 10x their marketing spend, it's like they don't even think about it after 3 or 4 months. And now it's just how many leads, what do I need to do on a day-to-day basis to be able to win over clients? So
what I really like about that is this last meeting that we had, you shout out 2 agents that made over $160,000 in revenue. And one thing that I could say you could definitely experience at West Capital that you can't experience anywhere else is I was able to approach those two same people and ask them what their secret sauce was, and they're open to it. You know, they're like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is exactly how to get about it. And just kind of being that approachable and being that open lets you know that, you know, we're really all focused to win as a core group, not as, you know, this team is better, so they're holding all their secrets, you know, to the side. You know, as long as you're part of the WestCap family, we're all on the same team. We're not different teams.
I think that's really important. It's just ingraining in the culture of like us as a company. It's, you know, many of us, we have that same background. We're coming from, you know, these large call centers, and now we're independent, right? And so we're going to need to pick each other up and lift each other up, right? If something's not working for you. Right. You've gone a rut, you've gone 100 leads, and you haven't gotten a deal. Having that conversation with someone, tweaking a little bit of your pitch, your presentation, maybe what systems you're using, what your text messages or communications to the client, those little tweaks can make all the difference in the world. So I think that the collaboration and sharing, and I love hearing that, you know, Kevin Fife, you know, $163,000 last month. That's just mind-boggling. We're in Q4, and his ability to do that, and only on 14 funded loans too.
And only 2 were HELOCs.
And 2, yeah, that's right. I saw one figure, one spring. It's great, and I think that I hope that continues as we grow as a company. I think I really want to ingrain that into everyone's head. Like, we share, we collaborate. You know, we pick each other up if something's not working for you, or there's a best practice that is going on. Like, how do we share that information? So
yeah, I'm excited because, you know, I'm more of kind of like I'll observe from a distance. And now, you know, having the approachability or the ease to approach somebody here at West Capital Lending, it allows me to get the best of both worlds. So I can observe from afar, but I also can approach and ask questions. And I've literally geeked out on all the top performers' processes, how they're utilizing and leveraging the different vendors, from, you know, the lead vendors to which lenders does what and where they shine at. And now I have all this data that will help me create that successful team. And so, you know, the loan officers out there in the industry, no matter where you are in the country, you have an opportunity to now actually work with me, and we can all grow together, because all I'm doing is taking the information from my entire career of what worked, what doesn't work, and really refining it, and now modernizing it to this wholesale platform, learning from people who, like you said, are making north of $160,000 a month right now in what's supposedly the worst market, and using those tips and those tidbits to now share with the team that I'm going to be building. So I'm looking forward to building the team here, and I'm definitely not happy until I'm in that top 1%. You know, it's cool to be in the top 10%, but, you know, I'm just call it for what it is. I want to be the best, and my plan is to build the absolute best team that WestCap's ever seen.
I love it. Well, I'm here rooting you on and supporting you in anything that we can do, and it's going to be a journey, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
Now it's your time to hit the thumbs up if this video helped you. I love engaging with you in the comment section below. Lastly, please share this video with someone else that can benefit from this topic. Thanks for subscribing. Look out for the notification for my next video, and I'll see you there.